Hey, hi. I'm Mona. This is Sacred Geometry Universe Video Journal Diary for September 16, 2025. So, we were going to leave today, but you know what? I have enough dog food for another night. Yeah, I'm trying to make it the cameras because it's kind of windy and I don't want the windy sound to, hopefully you guys can hear it okay. Anyways, so this morning I got up, we went for a walk, and then I was thinking, I still never received that phone call from the Texas Ranger guy. He's nice, and his assistant is nice. I like both of them. They're great people. So, I called the assistant because, maybe he's busy, I don't know. And I called her and I got a hold of her, real quickly. Every time I call, she picks up, or if I call and leave a message, she calls me back right away. So she's really awesome. And so I decided, let me see. It was already 10 o'clock in the morning. I figured that the offices over there are open or wherever they're working. So, yeah, I spoke to her, and I was talking to her about some things, and she's like, oh, okay, I'm going to email him and call him, and we'll see if he can reach out to you. And I said, okay, that's good. That sounds good. And yeah, like maybe a half an hour later, he called me. He's a really cool guy. He's really nice, really friendly. He's knowledgeable too, because, those are the people I want to talk to, people who are knowledgeable, right? But he called and I spoke with him, and I was like, oh, I'm just wondering if you heard of anything from the DA. And he's, because, I sent all the required information and paperwork to the DA so he can send a letter to this guy to go investigate the situation. But you know what he told me? That's why I really like this guy, this Texas Ranger guy, because he was really straight up and straight out honest with me. He said, it's up to the DA whether or not they want to proceed with investigations, right? Because he told me in other places, other counties, he said that people have basically went to him and he helped them. He helped some of them and he didn't help others, and I'm just like, oh. Because I told him, I feel like this DA is not really on my team. And he said, yeah, if he feels like it's something that he doesn't want us to pursue, then he has that choice. So that right there makes me feel like, oh shoot, they're really corrupt around. Not Cody, he's the Ranger guy, the Texas Ranger guy. Not him or his assistant, not them, because they were he was straight out honest with me. And I appreciate that. But he said, yeah, if he doesn't feel that we need to go out there and do anything, then we can't. We have to get that letter from him. So I'm like, oh, and I said, I don't want to call the sheriff's department. And I told him why. Because when I speak to them, they're so condescending. They're so, as a matter of fact, and they ask me questions that have no significance to anything in regards to the case. So what I feel like what they were doing was they were just trying to dig out some information on me, which is fine. That's okay. I don't mind to tell people about me, or I have nothing to hide, I don't do anything wrong, really. So if they want to ask their questions, they can, but I had figured out that that's part of their deception and manipulation. Because at the sheriff's department, they were just hoping and praying that, I'm thinking they were. I don't know if they pray over there, but but I think they were trying to get me to become unhinged and I'm so mad, but I already know through my lifetime that doesn't get you anything. So they can't really do that. And on top of that, like halfway through that call, when they were trying to get that stuff going, they lied to me, or they didn't divulge something to me. No, they lied to me. Because somebody had told me that they don't record the phone calls from there. I think it was the actual sheriff. Because I told him, well, if you record the phone calls, you will hear how he was. But he said, oh, we don't record the phone calls. Of course not. Because they don't want anybody to hear how crazy that investigator was on the phone. But then when they called me, because they told me that we only record the 911 calls. Like, if you call in and you want to talk to them, then they don't record the call. But if it's a 911 call, yes, they do, right? So I was like, oh, okay. Because when he told me that, I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. But then when the new investigator called me, we had a really long conversation, and he was trying to, I guess, dig for information. I already know what they are trying to do. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid, but they think I am. Anyways. So halfway through that conversation, it was a long conversation. I think it was 45 minutes, of that guy the investigator guy trying to like dig and upset me. And it's just, one of the reasons it doesn't upset me is because I like talking to people when I can. You know what I mean? Because I don't talk to anybody. So why would I get all crazy and unhinged talking to somebody when I actually enjoy it? I enjoy it, whether it's a good or bad conversation, whatever. I still enjoy talking to people, and I'm going to talk to them nicely because that will extend the conversation, and I want to extend the conversation. But anyways, they don't know that about me, so... So I figured out, when halfway through that conversation, I mentioned something about the recording of the phone calls, and he's like, oh yeah, you're being recorded. And I'm all, oh, so that right there is a lie, because they had told me previously that they don't record conversations unless it's a 911 call. So they lied to me there. And since it's being recorded, it's there that he said that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Because I remember saying that. Oh, okay, that's fine. And so that right there, automatically, they're lying. That was a straight up lie. And they were just, trying to get me to be like crazy or something. But I just wanted to talk to him. And I'll speak nicely to extend the phone call, because I'm bored probably anyways at that moment. I like talking to people. But yeah, anyways. So I do know that the Refugio Sheriff's Department, they lie to get their way. I know that, so that's corruption right there. But I was talking to, Cody, the other guy, the good guy, the Texas Ranger guy, and he said, maybe I can give a call to the DA and say, hey, what's going on? And I was like, okay, yeah, what, I'm going to do that. Because I never really spoke to that guy. I always spoke to the Johnson guy, I guess his assistant, whoever the Johnson guy is. The Johnson guy was pretty nice, too. But he actually goes to... Refugio. So he's got a tie with the sheriff's department too, so I kind of don't really trust that guy too much, and I don't know if I can trust the DA either, because I can only assume, because I'm not sure, and assuming is not right, but I got the impression from the county judge about that person, and yeah, I don't think that he's on my team. I don't think he's, But I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt, and when we go back, I think we're gonna stay another night. I have enough, stay another night, and it's okay. So I'm gonna stay another night, and then tomorrow, or maybe after tomorrow, because when we go back, I'm going to have to do unpacking and cleaning and all this stuff. And I'm not going to feel like wanting to deal with anybody. So maybe the day after that, I will give a phone call and see if I could speak to him. It's kind of hard to speak to him because I think only I can speak to his assistant for some reason. Because I don't feel like the DA guy, I don't know how busy he is. I do know that he's backed up. I do know from the county judge that he's really backed up over there. But I need to find out, you know. And I also asked that Cody, you know, the good guy, I asked him, am I allowed to leave? Because I left. I told him I left. I felt trapped in my home. I felt like I couldn't go anywhere because I'm trying to figure out, are these people going to call me? Do I have to show up to court? What do I have to do here? But he said, no, you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Because I told him, you know, I like to travel and I like to go out and I feel like I'm trapped over here. And I said I couldn't handle it anymore. I had to leave. He's like, no, you should be fine. And I said, well, you know, I said, what if I go to like New Mexico or Arizona or somewhere and they try to contact me and I'm not there? And he said, you know, there's a way of them finding out whether or not you were there. And he's right, because I could use my bank statement to show them, look, I'm here in this state, or I'm here in this town, and I'm this place and that place. So yeah, he's right. I can prove that I wasn't there by showing my bank statements, you know, because everywhere, whenever you make a purchase anywhere, it shows up what state or where you are. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So yeah, so now I know, now I feel a little better. I just feel disappointed in that county and that sheriff department because they're not good people as far as I know right now. I can only go off of what I know at the moment, but we'll find out. You never know. Maybe they are working on it, or maybe something's going on over there that they can't get to it right yet, even though they're not busy over there, because I already know it's not a busy department. It's not a crime-ridden town. And I do understand that a lot of the people around don't trust the sheriffs anyways, but I mean, you know? So at least I found out that I can still go and travel and not have to worry about anything. I just feel disappointed because there's no trust in the Refugio Sheriff's Department as far as I know at this point. There's no trust in the DA at this point. Because, you know, I don't trust anybody until they prove loyalty. You know, it's just like that. If they don't help me or they don't, you know, bring justice upon this case, then that means that they really actually don't care about the citizens. And that's just something I'll have to live with, you know. But at least I know I can leave, and that's cool, you know. I just don't want, you know, anything to happen to my house or property. Now, I don't know that anything like that would, unless it's a natural disaster and stuff. Because my neighbors are really cool, you know. They watch my home. They actually get out, like I saw it, you know. That's why I'm so happy with my neighbors, you know. They're quiet and they keep to themselves too, which I like that. You know, we have a little chit chat here and there when we have interaction. But I saw on my cameras, because I can see my whole property from my phone. Yeah, I have that. I have 24-hour security. I can see it. The main place can see it too. It's all recorded. So I really like what the security I got. So I got some notifications that, oh, somebody's on the property, and I look, and it's my neighbor. And I see her, and she's not doing anything but checking. Like, I don't see her touching anything or going in. I just see her walking, and she's looking. And then she walks back and she looks, and then that's it. Like, you know, super cool lady. I brought her I'm gonna bring her a big bag of shells that I collected for her, because, you know, she has some kids or grandkids or something like that. So I'm gonna take it to her, and they can do arts and crafts or play with them or whatever. Just a little souvenir, you know. But yeah, you know, at least I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Because the houses are kind of, I mean, they're not like right on top of each other, but they're very close together. And, you know, if anything happens at the house, the other houses beyond are at risk. You know, like a fire or something, and the other houses right next door are at risk, especially with the wind going on. Everybody would be at risk over there, you know. So I don't think that anybody would actually go and mess with the house. I'm worried about them messing with the water system, more or less, you know. But I feel okay, you know, because this whole time we were here, it was just so great and so good to get out. Like I said before, we were only going to come for like 3 nights, and now it's going on like 8 nights. Well, you know what? That's what happened to me when I left Missouri. I just wanted to travel for a year, and it turned into 4 years, you know? It was the greatest time of my life, you know? But now we have a home, and I just want to make sure that, you know, my investment is safe. You know, it doesn't mean I have to be there all the time and feel trapped in there. I mean, I get out every day, but it's just not enough. You know, I need like the freedom of being out, you know, and, you know, I'm already thinking about our next trip somewhere, because I was thinking, you know, wow, I have a lot of bills now, but, you know, I only buy what I need. You know, I got the rent, I got all the utilities, and then now I have the bill of the water system and the security system. But then I kind of look at my accounts and I'm like, you know what, I got this. I can still go traveling, you know, where I want to go. So that's cool, you know, because I'll be honest with you, the money I spent over here, camping, it's about the same money I spend if I'm at home. It really wasn't a big change or a big difference, you know what I mean? It's the same. You know, the money I spend for gas, it's the same. The money I spend for food and stuff like that was the same. So it's like no different for me to leave. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just feeling a lot better knowing that I can leave without anybody looking for me and saying, oh, she's trying to escape this. I'm not. Especially since, you know, Cody told me that, no, you can leave and we can check. If they have mailed you something or you went somewhere, you can say, you know, there's always something that you can prove that you were out of town, you know, and he's right, yeah, so that's cool. So, yeah, I'm already thinking about where our next trip is going to be, but, yeah, that's all I have for right now. Even if we come back here, you know, or maybe camp down there at the other spot, because it's so convenient right here, and everything is right here, and people leave you alone. You have the beach. I really love the beach. This whole coast right here, there's so many places to camp, you know, so many. I think like if I were to stay here for a couple days and then drive another hour that way, then I guess towards Galveston, right? Camping there too. You know what I'm saying? It's, yeah, you know? So anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I'm Mona. This is Sacred Geometry Universe Video Journal Diary for, I already forgot, the 18th? No, 15th. The 18th, I think? September 18th, 2025. And I'll talk to you next time. I'll put the right date up there. The title anyways. So all right, you guys, I'm Mona. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.